I'm on the line with your favorite rapper, the Jacka. I want to start by saying I've been a fan of yours for a long time. The first song I believe I heard from you was "Cause I'm the Mac," and I was hooked. So I want to know what got you hooked to hip hop.
Really, I've been a fan of hip hop forever. Basically like born into the culture. So it's actually my way of life. I was probably around about 13 years old. A friend of mine had like a keyboard, a 4-track or an 8-track or whatever it was he had back then. And that's what we used to record on. By the time I was like 15 years old, I probably had like about 200 songs. All my friends at school, everybody was up on them. They loved them. And they played them a lot. So the response I would get for these songs is what probably gave me the drive to continue doing it. And, just making a career out of it.
Growing up, did someone or something influence you to start writing?
No, not really. When I started writing, I was probably around about 17, because I used to just go in there and freestyle everything. I was really, really, really had a cool gift at freestyling when I was younger. So I would get in there and just pretty much do that. And then when I started writing, it was because I started thinking about subject matter and sticking to the subject. When I started writing, it wasn't really like I was influenced to write by anybody, but I wanted the things that I was saying to make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? And I wanted to have wordplay, and I wanted to be clever. And the only way you could do that is if you actually write them, because you got to think about how you're going to do it. When you freestyle it, it's just coming off the top, saying anything, shooting the breeze, basically. And when you write, it's more from the heart, from the soul. So I noticed the difference right away, and I just stuck with the writing. But it was just because I wanted to make everything sound like it made a lot of sense.
So all your fans know that you were also in the group Mobfigaz. Can you tell me a little bit about how this group was formed?
I was solo first. I already had 5 or 6 albums out, and I linked up with my boy FedEx. He was already my boy, my favorite. We linked up and we did our own thing. Before the Mobfigaz, we had a group called Fatal Mentality, and it was just me and FedEx. He was the Mobfigaz too. And that's how we really got started. We had a couple songs that was out, like compilations and stuff. Like Still Named Sex gave us our first real shot at putting something out in the stores. And we was on this compilation called Play Blank Range. The song was called $1 Million Dream. And this had to be 1996. We had our whole school. We were still in school, you know what I mean? So we had our whole high school and everything planned. So then what happened was we were all going to the studio. Me, Fatty, Hustler, Ryder, and 89 was all recording out of Rob Lowe, one of our producers' studios. So Sibo, a rapper named Sibo, he was in jail. He was penitentiary, but when he came home, he wanted to start his own label and everything. So we had people in the joint with him, and they would play him the songs that we had. And Kahneman was like, man, I'm finna go meet these cats when I get out of jail. There were some brothers from Frisco, San Francisco, who had opened up a record store in Pittsburgh. The store shut down now, but then it was open. This was like 97 back here. And Sibo came. When he got out of jail, and met us over there, and he kidnapped us, basically took us to the studio, and just cut us loose in there, let us do what we wanted to do. And we got on his first album, first mainstream album, Till My Casket Dropped. And that was a good look for us, because he sold about 300,000 or something independent on there. He had a good deal with a major. It was like an independent deal, but it was a major distribution. It did good, so we had got some exposure off of that. And then in 1999, we came with the Mobfigaz, Sibo's Mobfigaz album, and that's how it all happened.
Among your fans, you've released a classic record already, and it was the Jack artist. How does it feel to know that you made a classic album?
People be telling me it's a classic album. Really, it felt good to make an album like that, because it was during the time when everybody where I was from was making a certain sound, and I was like, I wanted to play with the samples and do a bunch of little stuff, that wasn't going on around here in California. Maybe on the East Coast they had it, but here in California was a little bit different. So I don't know, man. I didn't really, people tell me that it's a classic album and everything like that. I definitely appreciate the love, but we was just making music, man. But it definitely feels good to hear people compare you with all the great rappers and the greats and stuff like that off of some stuff that you did when you were a kid,
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely feels great.
And you also released Tear Gas, and it's got much press, but one of them that stuck out to me was from XXL writer Brandon Peters, and he said he is at his best when he touches on the realities of street life. And do you agree with that? Do you think that's when you're your best?
Well, some people might say that because it's the only thing that they can grasp out of what I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the street shit. They can probably grasp that and understand that more than Islam. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe it's Islam more than the street stories because the street stories is one thing, but it's easy for somebody to relate to that type of stuff. So that's probably why they said that, because it's like probably the only thing that they can understand or get out of it.
How does it feel to have your work talked about in a respected hip-hop magazine like XXL?
It's kind of dope, man. It's kind of dope to me. I like Hoes and Hollers and Saturday magazine and everything, and I had hoped that I would get a chance to be in a magazine like that when I was a kid. So it definitely feels good to see yourself in a magazine like that. Something to make your parents proud. It's good. They set up at the airport and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, your parents get something they feel good.
And you've been successfully doing your thing independently for a long time. And recently, Snoop Dogg said that independent is the best way to go. Do you also think that is the best way to go?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that it's very underrated. You know what I'm saying? Because here in the Bay Area, we got so many outlets because, we found a place where there ain't no major record labels or nothing like that. And if you making music, you want your stuff to get heard, you gotta basically do what you gotta do to get it out there. So we got digital distribution companies. We got companies that press up and manufacture CDs store ready. We got distributors, independent distributors, and everything that we need to get our music in your stores and get it to the people. You know what I'm saying? Here. And you can do it on your own. You know what I mean? You can really do it independently and practice on your business side of the thing. You know what I mean? Because music business really, everybody know that it's a big secret. And a lot of people don't have that outlet to get their music out there. Like, a lot of Midwest cats, they understand like boat we on. Because it ain't really nowhere that you can go to have somebody listen to this shit and just want to put you on, you know what I mean? Because they got their people they want to put on. So, that was never really our reality, that somebody would come here and say, okay, we finna snatch y'all up, sign y'all, and put y'all on. We know that, we got to do it ourselves because, that wasn't reality. Even though it was a dream that we had, it just, after a while, you realize, man, that's not reality. You know what I mean? So you gotta dig deep and really push your team and push everybody to get a movement going off the ground so you can really just, the independent thing will work for you. You know what I mean? Because you can be independent and look independent, or you can be independent and have the same kind of quality shit that the majors is having. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats that's independent, when you hear the word independent, you think of Slim Jewel CDs, you know what I'm saying? The ones that the bootleggers sell and shit like that. Mixtapes that they, you're not thinking about a CD that's shrink wrap and store ready to be bought from the store. You know what I mean? So a lot of people get the game twisted, and when you're independent, you make all the money. You know what I'm saying? So like if Tear Gas, for instance, came out in the first week, we sold 7,000 CDs. So in the first week, you times that times 7,000 times $8. That's how much money we made that first week. You know what I mean? And it's good. It's good money. We make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Doing it. So, and we don't have to sell. We ain't gotta go gold and platinum or anything like that to make that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? Only thing we gotta do is sell like about 20, 30 1,000 records. Times that times 8, that's how much money you get. So, you know, and if you got, feel like you put an album out, bam, independently, you drop that one album, and you drop another album. So the store's ordering that. They're going to order the new album, and they still want your other album that you just dropped. So they're going to order that. So now you just keep reflipping it. You put 5 or 6 albums out. Now, you know, they ordering all your shit. So now you got a constant, steady income. You know what I'm saying? It's way better than having a major record deal because there ain't nobody all in your business. You ain't, you know, you can do it all, the kind of music that you want to do. And you can come out when you want to come out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they don't want you to know that, you know? It's a lot of stuff they don't want you to know about. You know what I mean? You put your shit on iTunes or any internet site that sells music, you know what I mean? And go big, you know? It's just about you and how far you're willing to push yourself to take it to the next level so you can actually make some money off the shit. And it's more than just a hobby. It's actually something that's, you know, helping you survive.
And you have pushed past the limits of an independent artist because you have listeners outside of the U.S. and outside of California. So how does that feel to know that other people can relate to the things you rap about?
Yeah, it really feel good because, you know, you go from making the music for you and your friends at first, if your boys like it, then it's that, on to the people around where you're from, and then, you know, a lot of the people go off to college and go to other places in the world, and they bring your music with them, and they help push you, you know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of the stuff, our stuff, get out there because, you know, independent. We are independent, and then, like, we got all this money to push up where, like how the majors do, but it definitely feel good to know that people out of town and away from the Bay Area is listening to this stuff because, you know, I really want the urge, you know what I mean? I really want people to like my music and stuff like that. So the feeling that I get from hearing that somebody from New York or Philly or Jersey or Washington, D.C. or something like that is slapping my music, and really, it's a good feeling, man. You know, let me know that, you know, I wasn't wasting my time or nothing like that.
And you recently worked with Freeway, and in the past you worked with Freeway, and you also work with Paul Wall. And how was it to work with these artists?
Well, you know, they gave me my props first, you know what I'm saying? Real when I write my music, I'm just a street nigga trying to right my wrongs. Hey, I gotta keep them things moving, salute the wife and kiss the kids and be
I probably talk once, but I never recap, cause I come through again and lay down a whole spot. I made my mama worry, but I tell her don't cry. I'm in this rap shit, and I'm never gonna
I didn't like a lot of people go up to them dudes and be in their ear all night in the club and, you know, just irritating these guys, you know what I'm saying? You know, I never got at nobody like that. Only thing I ever did was give people their props, and I never try to push myself on them, you know what I mean? And when they find out about me and hear my music and they like it, and they say, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with Jack because the nigga's solid, man. You know, he didn't come screaming in my ear, spitting in my ear at the club all night, trying to fucking talk me into doing shit with him and nothing like that. He just kept it solid, you know? And it's just like that. So, you know, them dudes are so humble, man. And they kind of like respect the street aspect of the music shit, but that's really not why they fuck with us, is because the music was good for real, you know what I'm saying? And coming from some dudes like that platinum artists, you know, mainstream artists, you know, it really you feel good, man. And they just tell me to keep doing what I'm doing, you know? I listen to them, you know, because they already out there like that, you know what I'm saying? And I just listen to them, I just continue doing what I'm doing. But it definitely it's definitely ill to work with them kind of dudes and get the respect from them kind of dudes because we would have never known, you know what I mean?
Do you plan to work with more mainstream artists?
Yeah, I would like to, you know, if they good. A lot of people are like, I would like to work with mainstream artists and give them the insight on how to have their own label going and get their own shit off the ground, so you won't be calling nobody phone crying, calling the CEO crying and shit when shit go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You already got a plan. You know, you already got some knowledge on how to get your music out there without nobody. You know, because a lot of times, you know, these major artists, they come out under a major label, and the label He never started up. He never had his own record label. Never had people working for him, and never really just put his own shit out. Don't have the know-how. So when the contracts go bad, or when the deal goes bad over at a label, you know, you get your, because a lot of these dudes are street cats. They get their emotions involved, and they might like a nigga for putting them on. You know, a nigga put you on, and you from the streets, you love him like he's your brother and shit, but that don't mean that the nigga love you like that. You know what I'm saying? It's business to him, but to you, he took you out the ghetto and gave you a home and made you comfortable. As you're able to take care of your family and shit, so to you, you love him like a brother. You know, but a lot of the times the CEOs don't love the artists back like that. So I like to fuck with major artists and give them the game and see them prosper on their own. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about you working with Freeway, and you were recently in Africa shooting a video with him. How was that whole experience?
It was unbelievable, man. It really changed my life. You know, I came back home. When I got there, it was crazy because, you know, all the brothers there, you know, I would wake up at around about 8:30, come down, you know, come out. I would be out my room at around about 8:30 and go downstairs in the lobby, and I see all the black people with business suits on, and they actually handling business. They had been down there since 6 in the morning handling business. Meeting up with people, doing meetings, talking about going to Dubai, Kenya, Rome, all the places around there, Ethiopia, doing things. And just building the country up. And I realized, man, you know, by 1 o'clock, these dudes is already done with everything they had to do. You know, so now they're putting back their street clothes on and coming out their business suits and putting their street clothes back on and living it, going back to the hip hop life, you know. But it just gave me a lot of insight on how I should be. You know what I mean? Like, it just woke my game up, let me know that shit, nigga. You gotta be more like them. You gotta be a businessman too, because you know, there ain't really that much time to waste. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta get it, lock it down. It don't happen sometimes fast enough. You know, people that work for you and stuff, they want to give up on you. You know what I mean? So you just gotta, you know, really just become that businessman. Well, that's what Africa did for me. You know what I mean? That was the country I went to was 100% Muslim population. So nobody was starving nobody was sitting on the ground with flies in their eyes or swole bellies or something like that. You know what I mean? They really take care of their own. And they told me that to make Africa our home and do, you know, take advantage of it because, you know, the French and all the other guys came out there and colonized and really didn't do nothing for the people. You know what I mean? And they really mad at them for that. You know, but the Americans come, and, you know, we was in a town called Djibouti, Africa, and the American army came and, you know, they provided like over 4,000 jobs for the people. And, well, you know, you provide 4,000 good jobs for some people, especially in Africa, you really provide, I would say, like about 17,000 jobs. Because, you know, in Africa, you know, $200 a month, you gotta cook and a maid, you know what I'm saying? Another $200, you got a driver a month, you know, so when you got a good job, you got all these things, so you able to hire people on and help them out, you know what I mean? So it's a good look, man. It was a life-changing experience for me, though.
On Twitter, you said that you were asked to stay a few extra days with Freeway in Africa to perform for the Prime Minister. How was that?
Oh, man, it was just like watching, you know, it was like the wedding to Coming to America. You remember how classy that wedding was?
Yeah.
It was the same exact thing. I was like, oh, shit, this is some shit. Like, this ain't like the States when everybody in the crowd is thugging. You know what I'm saying? We performing for the Prime Minister, all the government officials. You know, the President and the First Lady was watching. And it was, you know, the ambassador was there, you know what I mean? So it was something serious, and we appreciated it. We was the first rappers to come out there and rap for the people. You know, other rappers been out there, but they go straight to the army and go to the army base and rap and do that. You know, I would have liked to do that too, but it was better to get out there with the people and let them see you and let them see you. You know what I mean? Let them know that you care. You know, we went to the orphanages and we went to the market, you know. The economy is kind of poor, but it's rich people there, so they take care of the people. You know, nobody ain't gonna ever starve there. You know what I mean? If you're hungry, you go to your neighbor's house. They gonna 5 or 6 people begging just to feed you. You know, because they Muslims, they want to get the blessings. You know what I'm saying? For doing the right thing.
Then a couple days ago, you dropped your EP that you did with Andre Nickatina called "Crime Is My Middle Name." Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was something. You know, that was a project that he asked me to do for him. And I just went over there and did it. You know what I mean? And we just knocked out the beats. You didn't want to take up too much time and nothing like that to do it because, you know, when he explains that if you got a gift, take advantage of it. You know, a lot of rappers want to rap to be famous, but when you rapping and you good at it, that means you got a gift. When they come to you like nothing, like water, like taking a sip of this water out of this cup right here, it's like, you know, if you can drink water like this, you can just make a rap like that, then you get it. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy. You know, we knocked it down. And it was just something for you know, I do like short albums and Andre Nickatina and stuff like that to widen our fan base because he got his own fan base. And like he said, a lot of people try to say he has a cult following or something like that, but he doesn't agree with that. He says that the same people that listen to his music listen to me, listen to Jay-Z, listen to Jacka, you know what I'm saying? And all other motherfuckers thought a cult following would mean that they only listen to him only, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he a humble dude, like, man, he a real cool dude, but yeah, man, anything he asks me to do, I'm going to go do it because he always give us game. He put us up on so much game and shit that, shit, man, we can never go wrong, man, you know, because he's been doing it for so many years that he knows exactly what he's talking about. He's been putting his own albums out and started his own label and doing his own thing for years, him and Nick Peace, you know what I'm saying? And I see how he lives, the things that they have, and how much money they got and shit, and they rich, you know what I'm saying? They never, I don't think Andre Nickatina was ever on a major record label, but he got more money than all them niggas, though, I'll tell you that.
Are you planning any shows or tours for 2011?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We got a show New Year's Eve in Portland coming up. We got another show in Denmark in February, like in Scandinavia. And we got a video. We got one in Panama in February also. Then we're back to Africa in February. February is going to be our big traveling month, you know. So we do a lot of stuff, a lot of shows. You know, we mostly booked every weekend, like, you know. Pretty much only get like about 2-3 weekends a year off and to just chill, but mostly every day, every weekend is booked for shows.
What's next for the Jacka outside of rapping?
Outside of rapping?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I never really focused on that. Cause you know, I'm the kind of dude who just learn from other people's mistakes. So what I do is I'll wait till I retire to make any kind of investments or do anything else. You know what I mean? If I'm going to do something besides rap, I'll wait till I stop rapping unless it's like a movie or something like that I can quickly do. You know what I mean? But like, as far as like investing my money in the stuff, I'm going to just save it. Because I seen a lot of people make investments while they was on the road and it just came crashing down on them because they're not there to oversee what they investing in. You know what I'm saying? And they lose a lot of money doing that. So my whole thing is just wait till I retire and then do everything, you know what I mean, outside of rap. But as of right now, I'm a straight rapper dude, you know what I'm saying? I'm straight just trying to kill the game, just always trying to add dope shit, make dope songs for the people, and keep it lit for my niggas locked in the joint who ain't coming home or who trying to come home, and all my niggas who just didn't make it, you know what I'm saying, who just died. In the process, you know what I'm saying? They got rid of do me, so I'm just going to keep it lit.
I'm sure that there's a guy out there listening to this interview right now, but he may be caught up in some other things that's not allowing him to follow his talent or his dreams. What can you say to him to let him know that it's okay to go out there and go follow your dreams just the same way as you did?
Yeah, definitely, man. If somebody's listening out there right now, if they like rapping, but they trapping, I'm going to tell you like this, man. It's either one or the other. If you're a real nigga and you really dope, you're really good at what you do, and it's for real, go ahead and take your time. You know what I'm saying? Go full steam ahead with it because, and don't look back because you're going to have that movement. When you're a popular dude and you make good music anyway, you know, people gonna be with you. They gonna follow you. They gonna do whatever they gotta do to get you help you do your thing. But only if you're good. But if you just want to rap because it look cool, you know what I'm saying? You want to rap because you think you're cool, or no, that ain't gonna last. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, you gotta really be talented for real and gifted, man. So if you really got the talent and you're really good, just never stop doing it. Just make sure you fuck with who fuck with you. Even if they geeks, you know, when you're young, you don't want no geek ass nigga hanging out with you. You know what I'm saying? But when you get grown, all that shit go out the window. Cause them same dudes, geeky nerd ass niggas, is the ones who want to hang your ass everywhere, blasted on the internet, and you know, in places where you can't go because you don't really know these things. You know what I'm saying? That the geek niggas know. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't putting nobody down. I'm just saying, like, you gotta fuck with who fuck with you. You can't be picky on somebody who's trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, you might not get another chance.
Is there any last things you would like to say to your listeners?
You know, Assalamu alaikum to all the Muslims, you know, Muslims out there. And, you know, go get everything. Go, you know, Google me, whatever you gotta do, pull up all this stuff, see what you like, go get it. Download it, however you gotta get it. You're in college, you ain't got that much money, you know what I mean? Times is tough. You know, just pull it up on YouTube. I had every song I ever had on YouTube, you listen to it for free. Or however you burn CDs and shit like that, if you're gonna burn one for you, burn one for like 10, 12 other people and give it to them, let them have it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what? Listen to this shit, man. So, you know, we can always keep the torch lit, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We can stay right there level with the people.
Jack, I want to thank you so much for doing this interview for me and GoodSkunk.com. I really enjoyed it, and I want to tell all of the listeners, all of the Jacka fans, all of the new Jacka fans,